everybody. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white line.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for that. Thank you for the notice.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from Santa Clara. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Breida. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down. Garoppolo now. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And that's complete to Sanders. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his 2nd season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked a team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the 2nd time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. 2nd straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Cousins. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd and short. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
Got him. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. San Francisco coming back out here, CD. This is a franchise that this year will end a 5-year playoff drought. That's the good news. Great record, but it could have been even better, really. You think about some of the heartbreaking losses. Overtime to Seattle, a field goal at the horn by Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and then that real shocker against Atlanta Week 15, Julio Jones, the touchdown, no touchdown right there at the goal line.
And that's the one that we shouldn't have been as surprised, only for this reason. They were so injured, so beat up, so many starters not playing in that game, and they took Atlanta to the limit, although I guess we would say Atlanta took them to the limit and found a way to win. But I do think that this 49ers team, with health in the playoffs, as dangerous as any team in the NFC.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Garoppolo gives to Breida. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Let's go, defense. Our time.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Come on, Lyle. We better than that.
But no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Got his target, Samuel. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go.
Mike 54. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score.
Here we go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdown. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel there to make the grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back. But there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar. But top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing is Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it second and short. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Cousins again. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson, and he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Cousins. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. On 2nd down, Cousins again. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Now Cousins, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here we go, here we go,
The
here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Vikings.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
6-man. Check.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Check. Watch 54.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
54 miles.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Nick Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Now Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw, Cousins. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. D Ford with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. And now look at him go. The 40, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now goal for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Single.
Play action now. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up third down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go. Jim.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Cousins on 4th down. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook, and an alley to run. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and 1, Cousins. He completes it to Abdullah. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gold to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Cousins to throw it. And the catch made by Johnson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. 180!
Mike 54. Hey, pick your game up.
Here's Breida. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Mike 54. Don't get nervous.
They run again with Breida. And an alley to run. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm